TIAA is on a mission. Why? Because 54% of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So in collaboration with big-name artists like Wyclef Jean, TIAA released Paper Right, new music inspiring a new financial future. With 100% of streaming sales going to a nonprofit that teaches students how to invest. Stream Paper Right now and help close the gap.
Hey, this is Dylan Marks from Fermentor, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
How are you, my friend?
I am wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you. That's my partner, Dark.
How's it going?
Pleasure to meet you.
It's been a while, huh?
Yes, and I've actually never seen your beautiful face or met you in person, but pleasure to finally meet you.
Yeah.
We've done 2 videos together, but it's nice to finally talk to you.
Yeah, I don't even remember when the last time was. It was a while ago, right? Pre-pandemic-ish or right around pandemic?
During pandemic, that's when we were trying to, both my bands, Fermentor and Beekeeper, were both trying to find sort of non-getting out there shows, ways to sort of reach the people. So that was sort of how we initially got into contact.
Right. Well, sweet. So let's talk about Fermentor then. Meld due out December 1st. Now that it's complete, are you satisfied with it, with the outcome? Hey, there it is.
Yes, in fact, we got the CD, came in the other day. Looks beautiful, and it sounds amazing. Yeah, we're extremely happy with it. We actually recorded it in a way that I've always wanted us to, because we're just a 2-piece instrumental. So I love that sort of nakedness, how it's just guitar and the drums. And if you go to our shows, you know, we're both up there on the front side by side. I'm like, no one's behind each other. It's just like the 2 of us, you know. So we recorded at Singing Serpent, pardon me, where we set up both the guitar and the drums at the same time. So we I had 30 mics on my drum set, you know, and all his amps. He had his guitar going out to 3 amps, stereo, and 1 down the center. And we literally all tracked everything simultaneously so that we could just get that pure feeling and that pure energy and not have to essentially sacrifice any tone, because we just really wanted to track it live. And as we listen to it, I think it sounds so killer, you know.
I also think
we're ecstatic.
Yeah, and I also think that really makes the record sound more organic and more immediate, right? I mean, because I think, you know, with the ease of shuffling files back and forth through email or whatever, it's very convenient, but I think you sacrifice that sort of feel because the music kind of moves. It's not going to stay perfect tempo, right? It's not quantized.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It ebbs, it flows. We dwell on certain things. You know, it's like a living, breathing song, and that's why we really like that it's just the 2 of us, because it allows us to stop on a dime, or we're over here, boom, now we're immediately over there, and we can just in like an instant, you know, we're very agile musically. We can just jump around, you know, simply.
And I think when you go to see it live, then it also is going to be much more accurate to what you guys did, right? Because you recorded it that way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we love our recordings so much, but I mean, seeing us live is, you know, definitely I think really special and really different, and we just really wanted to capture that live energy of what it's like when we're playing, and you know, we're super in tune and we're moving together, and also, you know, Wally, our guitarist, he completely mixed the album. You know, he helped track in the studio. I mean, this is everything sounds the way it is, as good as it does, because it had his hand behind it. And you know, I've always been very lucky to have him, you know, his sound engineer, you know, brain and expertise in our projects, because I mean, the record sounds so amazing, you know, so I'm very stoked.
So what is it what does the audience think when they show up to a Fermentor show and it's just you two? I mean, until they first hear you play, there must be some sort of weird misconceptions, right?
Yeah, well, what's interesting is that I feel like I'm not really into, like genres and names of genres and things, but I think that sort of within instrumental metal, or if someone hears it's an instrumental band, or someone hears that it's a two-piece, sorry, it kind of begins to paint a picture in your mind. Oh, I've heard other instrumental bands, it's going to be kind of like this, or I've heard two pieces, it's going to be just like brutal blasting and like just all one note, you know what I mean? So I think oftentimes we benefit from people having sort of predispositions, because our music is, I mean, me and Wally have been jamming. We put out our first release for Fermentor in 2008. We've been jamming together for over 15 years. We've learned each other's, like mannerisms, like musical like I can tell when he's gonna do something. We can bob and flow, it's something that just comes from playing with each other for so long. And when we started off, we were writing just like thrash songs, because that's what we listened to, and our music has really matured and developed. And while it's been developing, we've been playing together and really like just getting more and more in sync. So people come into the shows and they think, oh, okay, it'll be sort of like this, or oh yeah, one of these, like Genty, or Animals as Leaders. You have all these sort of instrumental, predispositions,
Right.
And then they see something that they have never seen before or heard before, which is just us. I'm a loud drummer. I like to, I've heard someone say that I play the drums like a guitar. Like I like to, be obnoxious, and if the guitar just doodle, then I want to go doodle, and we're so like some parts of it can be so obnoxious and some parts can be so brutal, and then Wally likes a lot of really cool, more kind of chill music that he listens to, which really gives him more interesting chords and more interesting harmonies that you wouldn't necessarily be immediately thinking of when you're at a metal band and you're hearing blast beats and you're hearing double bass. Right. But I feel like it just sort of serves to enrich the music even more. But yeah, I love it when people are like, oh, an instrumental band, yeah, I'll go, whatever, I'll do you a favor, and then they come out and they go, whoa.
Dark, you got anything?
Yeah, so I guess I'm really curious about, you're saying like the two you recorded live, you said that wasn't just rehearsals?
No, so yeah, we tracked everything live, and then because everything was still set up, we had the ability to sort of go back into the take and like, oh, I kind of flubbed that, But
Yeah.
a large portion of it, it wasn't like we did the drums in the studio to scratch guitar
Yeah.
like you usually would, and then you like go back and then you go through the song. It's like that was the guitar, and like we both had little flubs in the studio
Sure.
that we kind of went back and tightened up. But the idea was, it's like, let's capture that energy. Let's, and I mean, Singing Serpent is also a really special studio. Ben Moore, he runs the place, but he's got different rooms. We had all these amps separated. We had, a bass amp in one room, guitars, so we had the space and a really nice loud drum room and a big one to have everything. So luckily we had the space to kind of be able to track everything simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's how we did it.
So were you two on a click?
No. All these songs were just
Did you
just,
like
just
count it?
au
Like,
naturel,
oh, really?
because it's like, it's, like the sometimes, and we're not like anti-click. We've done clicks before. Sometimes, when we're jamming, we like to jam to a click and just sort of, so, but it's like once we have an idea of the songs, they just sort of ebb and flow so much that it just, and then also I guess you can throw in a little bit of drummer's arrogance, you know what I mean?
No, but I love that
a dash of
because,
that in there.
yeah, because it just makes it feel so much more real, right? I mean, it's not so quantized that it's mechanical. It actually lives and breathes pretty much.
Yeah.
Something I did like a week or two ago, not really metal, but I heard the bass track to Detroit Rock City by Kiss. And I'm hearing it and I'm like, this sounds kind of out of time. Like this, I'm assuming you know the song. It's like a swing, but.
Yeah.
But And I'm like, this was definitely not. Then I heard another one. It was suggested on YouTube, like that with the drums. And then I was like, wow, he is locked in there. Like there's not with a click, but the two of them as a band, that's human.
Yeah, totally. I had a similar experience when I listened to Steve Harris's bass lines from Power Slave, like isolated, because I was just trying to learn the parts. But I was like, oh, it's funny when it's like by itself, it seems, you know?
Yeah.
And then you hear with the drums, and you're like, I take it all back.
Yeah.
All back. That was that was amazing. Yeah.
Interesting. Are you guys planning on taking Fermentor on the road?
So we are. Hopefully, we want to do it maybe next year. I have other bands that are going to be touring that we sort of have to, try to work in between. And also, Wally has a really great job at PlayStation. He works in the audio department. So we definitely want to. I kind of have to literally see what my life looks like in 2024 exactly, so we can kind of, carve around it. But we absolutely want to. And we have on December 1st when the album comes out, we do have a big show here in San Diego. We at Brick by Brick. We're playing Friday night with a lot of really great bands, Cerulean, Conjureth, Pyre. So, we are playing. We're trying to book some more shows, but no tour as of yet, but we want to.
Right. So when you guys are writing then, are you writing both together in the same room, or does he write all the guitar parts and then bring it to you and then you add your...
No, so Fermentor has always really been a very improvisational, jam-based kind of thing where we're just sort of playing together and we're messing around, and then all of a sudden we land on something that we like, and we go back and we play it again, and then we'll record it on our phones and then listen to it a bunch, and then we'll play it again. But then when we reach the end of whatever we've written, we just jam it through, and then maybe we'll land on something cool, But in the past we've had riffs that we had, or I've written riffs in the past, but since we have such chemistry that we've just been playing together for so long, even in our practices, we've for that show coming up, we've been practicing the set and making sure we're all tight live.
Right.
But in between the songs, just in our we don't even realize it, we just are automatically jamming, trying different ideas, sort of tinkering. It just really kind of falls out of us. And actually we when we went into the studio to record Meld.
Hi, this is Chad Nicefield.
And this is Justin Press.
We're the host of Making Waves, the Shiprock podcast, a part of the Sound Talent Media Podcast Network. We're inviting you to sail away with us on an epic journey in musical enlightenment. Every week, we bring you only the best artists in rock music and discuss everything from the cruise, to the stage, to the saga of being a professional recording artist. We'll have lots of special guests along the way, so tune in every week.
Your stateroom is available every Monday morning, so welcome aboard.
We actually recorded a lot of sort of improvised songs, and also me and Wally have been playing a lot around with his looping pedal. Mm-hmm. So we'll be jamming, he'll land on something he likes, he'll loop it, I'll realize he's looped it, then he'll start kind of do stuff over it, and we kind of create all these sort of really interesting, it's like, are you guys familiar with Reggie Watts? Have you ever seen? Well, he's like a vocalist, but he makes things loops, and he just scats like a babba da bee, and then he all of a sudden turns that into a beat, and then he loops over it, and sort of in a minute, you've got this layered piece that's very special, because it's kind of lightning in a bottle. You couldn't really recreate it again, because so
it's happening on the fly.
Yeah, so for years, oftentimes me and Wally would jam, and we'd come up with all these cool things, but in the back of my mind, I'm always worried about, okay, we have to remember this, we have to come back to this, but so when we went into the studio, because we've been jamming for so long, I thought, why don't we just, on top of recording Meld, why don't we just record some songs, improvised loop stuff, and don't worry about having to recreate it later, because we're recording it, just let go, and we recorded a bunch of stuff that we thought actually was really, really special that, we're thinking about possibly releasing in another way in the future. And it's kind of opened our eyes to, possible new things for Fermentor, looping, improvising live. These are all kind of like hoop dreams right now, but, we're constantly changing and stuff. But all the writing in Mind Meld, all just comes from improvised stuff, lightning in a bottle. Hey, that was cool. How do you do that? Let's go back. And then, that's essentially it.
That's pretty great. Dark?
Okay, so silly question, but like with a band name like Fermentor, and some other bands are doing this, I must ask, if you had some kind of tie-in with a brewery, what kind of beer would it be?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did I misinterpret the name Fermentor in that regard?
No. I mean, well, what's funny is when we first started jamming in like 2008, we called ourselves Matanza, which was I saw like in a 60 Minutes thing. It was Japanese for slaughter, and I'm 18. I'm all about Slayer and everything, so I'm just like, that's sick. So then we were Matanza. We loved it, and then we found out there was another band, Matanza. So, at the time we were always just because of we're an instrumental band, it allows us to sort of project all these crazy ideas and like cinematic like scenes in our mind. And it's funny because we often don't even agree. Like we'll each have our own like crazy idea that what this song is or these things, So I think one time we just came up with like a song that we're just like, this is just about like an evil scientist like who's making like a fermenting a brew out of people's bile or something, just because we were just into all that stuff, and then we just thought Fermentor was cool, and we stuck in, we used the OR because we're like, this is metal, and then it's funny because now I don't even, it's sort of like what's in a name, it's like Fermentor doesn't even mean fermenting, it just means like my band, it's but to answer your question, I'm really into blonde ales right now, so I would say a blonde ale. Just because I'm over the IPA thing.
Yeah, you know what? I was an IPA guy for a long time, and now somehow I must have like woke up overnight I just wasn't anymore. I had one and went, wow, what was I thinking?
You know what it was for me? I saw that like a Sculpin had like 350 calories, and I was like, oh, I might as well just be eating a McDonald's cheeseburger every time I have one of these. I was like,
So I'm gonna be honest here. I went the other way. It wasn't a calorie thing because I absolutely love like stouts and milk stouts.
Yes. Yes.
And that kind of thing.
Well, I used to be in a band called Eucharist with the guitarist Bell from Cattle Decapitation.
Oh, okay.
And we had a beer with Pizza Port Brewing that was a Eucharist. We called it the Sinister Imperial Stout, and it was delicious. It actually like turned me on to stouts. So I know they're like I like stouts, but I was like, I can't say stout because my other band had a stout,
I always just thought metal strikes me as more of a stout kind of genre. I think IPAs, I'm thinking like indie stuff. I don't know why. Yeah. It's like almost like synesthesia in my brain. But I mean, you got to go dark, right?
Dark, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Dark is saying go dark, but whatever. So what are you guys going to do the single thing then? Are you going to release singles and videos along the way, like the new business model?
Yeah, so we've released so also when we were in the studio recording it, we filmed everything. So we've already released us recording the song You Fool off the record. We've released a video of that in the studio, a couple different camera angles.
Right.
Of the song You Fool. And then we are also going to be dropping another song before the album. And then on December 1st, we have like a produced music video that is going to come out with the release of the album. So yeah, we dropped a couple singles with some in-studio videos, and then we have like more of a music video for the release on December 1st.
Nice. How excited are you to finally get it out there?
Very excited. But what's cool is actually this whole record, now that me and Wally have been going for a few years, we recorded this record from the time of recording it to it arriving in the mail on CD was 9 months.
Oh wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of that. We went into the studio, I think, at like the end of January. And then, I mean, we did a lot of work in the studio where it already sounded amazing just in the studio. So it wasn't like you get these like little 8 tracks and they got to be like beat replaced. It's like everything already sounded amazing thanks to, Wally's, know-how and thanks to Ben Moore. So he was able to mix it, relatively quickly to the point where we're happy. It was mastered by Dave Otero. And then, we just ordered the CD and we're like, let's, what are we waiting around for? Let's do another one.
That's great. So are you guys writing already then?
Yeah, we are. It's so funny because we're like, we have so many things going on right now. Just because we have those videos that we're like finishing, like, coordinating with the getting edited and doing other PR, and then like getting ready for the show, that when we're like when we're jamming in the practice studio, we often will kind of like just write stuff just because it sort of falls out of us. And then I think the other day I was sort of like, wait, what are we doing? Like, we can't do this right now. Like we haven't even put out, like, we got to, like, this cover rack, you know what I mean? Like, we have lots of ideas, but we're sort of like, okay, let's just first make sure we're ready for the show. And, but we always have ideas. We have we that's never been a problem for us.
That's great. Dark, you got anything else?
Nah, it's fucking cool.
Are you, so if fans want to find you guys, are you pretty active social media wise, or?
Yeah. We're active on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
And is it just Fermentor?
So you can find us Fermentor Metal on Instagram or fermentorband.com. But that'll take you to everything. But yeah, fermentorband.com, easy. You'll find everything. And the record comes out
December
1st. And if you're in San Diego, come to the Brick by Brick because it's going to be rad.
I'm going to just backtrack for 1 second because I thought of something earlier and now I just remembered it. So
sure.
I think this is really good music for licensing for soundtracks and video games as well.
That's cool. I think about that too. I would love to. I've always wanted to have the music, be in sort of different things.
Right.
And, we're toying with that. I mean, Wally has scored a movie before, he also works, he's done, tangential stuff with music. He's not, he's like a technician for the audio department, but, he has done stuff with sort of, guitar and stuff in video games. So, I mean, we've always been interested to that. Anyone out there that, knows someone, we would love to be interested in that. I've always had a dream where I want Fermentor to play at a gym. So it's like, okay, Saturday, whatever, from noon to 1, Fermentor's playing in the gym, like, you don't need your iPod, like, just come get your pump on, you know what I mean? Or like, or don't go
jump on the treadmill and listen to Fermentor.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that, but it's my dream to have my music in all sorts of cool things, movies, video games, so and that's sort of that's what's in our head when we're listening to our music too. So it's, I agree.
All right, perfect. I was listening to it and I was like, I think this would definitely, in some adventure films or somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
Anyway,
cool. No,
anyway, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was also gonna say we have a music video for a song we put out on our other record that we put out, the one before this, called Continuance. It's called Seventh Circle, and that was literally like an action movie chase, starring me and Wally. So if you want to see like how our music would work in a sort of action environment, you should check out the Seventh Circle music video on our Fermentor YouTube channel.
Okay.
But but Fermentor Band, you can find everything. And check out my other bands, Beekeeper, Atheist. So,
Yeah, we've had Kelly on here a million times. We're good friends with Kelly.
Yeah. Oh, and you guys gotta listen to Till the Dirt. I can't believe I didn't mention the new Till the Dirt record.
Are you on that?
Band. No, I am.
Okay.
That was Anthony Medaglia, and he was a great drummer. But
it's a great record.
Yes, no, it is. But I'm happy to be a part of it, and all future, shows that Till the Legit does and records, I'll be on.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Right on, my friend. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm glad you reached out to me. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm glad you reached out to me. And
Yes.
Good luck with it. And maybe we'll see you on, I'm going to throw it out there, on 70K with one of your
I hope
acts.
so. I hope so.
Oh, we'd love to be on that. That's the gig that literally every band wants. So I think it's you know what I mean. It's tough, but it's my dream to do it.
So I threw a lot of stuff out in the universe there. If it all works out, you owe me a beer somewhere along the way. A dark beer.
No, I was gonna say the blonde.
A pitcher.
He owes you a blonde.
A pitcher.
A pitcher, right?
Yes.
If you get on 70K, you owe me a pitcher in the
yes
at poolside.
Cool. Yeah. My pleasure.
All right, Dylan. Thank you for taking the time, my friend. Be well.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Later, dude.
Bye.
Hi, this is Paul Phelps.
And this is Monica Strutt.
And we're from the Daily Music Business Podcast. We're joined by a number of other really great hosts in creating daily content with great advice for independent musicians just like you.
That's right. We put out episodes daily on all topics from music marketing to branding, advice on signing with a manager and label, and anything else you need to up-level the business side of your music career. We've got it covered.
Subscribe to the Daily Music Business Podcast today on your favorite podcast catcher.
Subscribe today to the Daily Music Business Podcast on your favorite podcast platform.